here's what we don't mean by explore the positive future. Just pretend everything will be fine in 6 weeks. That's not what we're talking about here. That's not appropriate. It's not real, and it's not going to be helpful to your team.
Yeah, so definitely the most complicated idea that we're throwing at you guys is explore. So the easiest way to understand explore, it's the enjoyment and calm that comes from having something positive and certain in the future that you also feel ownership of. And yes, I did just give you a construct that has about 3 psychological mechanisms in there. So let me just get at those a little bit. One is you're creating through this exploration a little bit of a structured certainty about what could happen in the future. The other thing, and so that relates to what psychological researchers call need for structure. Another thing that it's creating is having something positive to look forward to. That's what psychological researchers call anticipated utility. We love the word utility. And lastly, when you do it together, like we have people do in our tools where you generate some of the ideas or collectively you generate the ideas, it leads to a sense of authority over what's going to happen in the future, what psychological researchers call psychological ownership. So this idea of exploring is finding things in the future that is going to give you anticipated utility, that is going to fit your varying needs for structure, and that is also going to give people ownership. Yeah, so one of the things I like to note about business is that even if amazing things weren't happening regularly at work on a weekly basis, still lots of little positive things were happening that you were looking forward to. You were looking forward to the bagels that would be in the meeting on Friday. You were looking to talk to that person who you always walked by their office after a great basketball game. You were looking forward to Taco Tuesday, which you went with your colleagues. And there were these little non-spectacular but wonderful events to anticipate regularly. So one of the things that we ask people to explore is how can you explore doing those things together as a team? How can you make things that you do as a team look positive in the future? And so maybe that is having, I don't know, some teams do this, a Fortnite Friday, where for an hour they get together and they play Fortnite, or some of them do. Or for other teams, it might be chess. Or for other teams, it's just making sure, let's just make sure the first 10 minutes of any meeting we have, especially meetings in the middle of the week, are fun. And we'll do some activity that is enjoyable. Maybe it supports the work goal. Maybe it's just 10 minutes of us bonding. And so exploring how to create these moments where you are regularly anticipating small shots of joy together is just undeniably useful. And you should understand that it's undeniably useful because it's what actually was occurring in most good workplaces.
Yeah. The mission of On Your Feet is to create more joy, less fear, and better results. That's a future worth exploring from our point of view.